following the release last year of his latest album entitled Survivor Blues. Would you please welcome Walter Trout? Right there for you. Oh, man, we're so glad you're here.
I'm glad to be anywhere.
You and I met last summer, and I've already told this story, but I said to you that, man, you know, if you're coming through Los Angeles, it would be great for you to come to the Grammy Museum. We'll do a program. And you said to me, I live in Huntington Beach.
Yeah. I'm a beach guy, man.
But I want to start by talking about this record, Survivor Blues.
Sure.
Because this is a covers album, but this is not your father's covers album.
My father never did a covers album, though. He was a carpenter. You know. He put up covers.
Right. He put up covers. Tell me about your thinking in terms of finding the material for this record.
It seems to me that there are maybe 20 songs that every blues band seems to want to cover. They're great songs. You know, granted, Stormy Monday, it's an awesome song. Caledonia, Hey, Hey, the Blues is All Right. Bright Lights, Big City. You know, it's the blues' greatest hits. But I turn on blues radio, and I hear 55 versions of Stormy Monday. And I think to myself, that's an amazing song, but this genre of music, recorded blues music, has been around for around 100 years. It sort of started with Charlie Patton, right? And if you go through the history of it and you kind of immerse yourself in it, you realize that there's so much there. It is such a rich, full, amazing genre, and there are these incredible artists who never got any recognition. There are artists who are known, but who did songs that are not known. And the more you get into it and the more you research it, you find these amazing things, what my wife calls forgotten treasures. And I wanted to call attention to some of these songs and some of these artists. I want people to realize that this is a big, beautiful genre with this panorama of stuff there, and it's just amazing to delve into it. It's fun. And I picked maybe 50 songs, and I had to kind of whittle it down, and that was tough.
Yeah. Well, and you picked, and we'll go through some of the songs. One of the songs, Me, My Guitar, and the Blues, this Johnny Dawkins song, which you have since called one of the greatest blues songs ever written.
Well, you know, when I think about the, in quotes, greatest hits of the blues, when I found this song, Me, My Guitar, and the Blues, I'm going to perform it later with my guys up here, but when I heard this, I thought this is truly one of the greatest blues songs I've ever heard. In a certain sense, the guy almost captured the essence of what the blues is, what it's about, what it means, how it feels, what it does to you. And I couldn't believe that no one has covered this and that this is not a song that you're going to hear 50 versions of. It is a song that I perform every night, and every night it takes me places that are just really emotional. I feel that song to the core of my essence.
Because, you know, one of the things, you've written a song about your guitar. About
Yes.
You know, a guitar and what guitar means to you. And here's this guy who, however, I mean, this song had to be written, what, 60, 70 years ago?
No, I think he released it in 1969.
Okay.
Right around
50
in there.
years ago.
Yeah.
50 years ago. But here he's singing in a sense, your story.
Yeah, he's singing the story of a lot of musicians I know who the love that they feel for their partner and the love that they feel for their music and for their instrument is a similar kind of love and a similar kind of feeling. And the song, what he says in there basically is, okay, you don't love me anymore, and all I have left is me, my guitar, and the blues. And it's just a potent, beautiful piece of work.
And speaking of beautiful pieces of work, Floyd Lee's Red Sun.
Yes.
Tell me what attracted you to that song.
First, I want to say that along with the songs that have sort of been forgotten,
I think we're going to switch out your mic because.
Check. Oh, wow.
Go. There you go.
I just got big. Do I need to start over with all that stuff I was spouting here? Floyd Lee, I discovered him. I didn't know about him. He was a street musician in New York. He played out on the street with his partner, Joel Pollack. Joel is a younger fella. Floyd was an older fella. They played on the street. They played in subways. They played in donut shops. They never really got recognition. They did make a couple of albums kind of on their own that never went anywhere, but they struggled and struggled, and eventually it kind of just fell apart. Joel moved to Canada. Floyd, I found out, is 100 years old, and he lives in Ohio with his brother, and neither of them play anymore. I managed to track them down, but when I heard the song, it blew my mind, and I actually was able to, I found out Joel had written the song for Floyd, and I was able to track him down, and I sent him a message, and I said, lyrically, this song is like a Leonard Cohen or something. It's profound, you know. Sitting on top of the mountain looking out at the sea, angels are talking to me. I got an angel feather in my pocket. It's going to take me to my grave. I mean, it is one of the heaviest pieces of music. Now, Joel, who I managed to get in touch with both of these guys and say, I'm going to do your song. It's going to be on an album that's going to be out all over the world, and you are going to receive some publishing money. And that felt really good. But the punchline of this story is this. A few weeks back, I got an email from Joel. He told me that he had received his first publishing check from my record label, Pro Vogue Records, and that he had decided he would go out and buy a brand new guitar and start playing again. Now, what I'm really hoping is Joel is coming to L.A. tonight to go to the NAMM show, and he's flying into LAX at 7 o'clock, and he's going to try to be here by the end of the night.
Wow.
And
that's fantastic.
We're going to finish the night playing his song for you, and I hope he's here for that. And if he shows up, I'm going to point him out to you, okay?
That is fantastic. So you know, one of the things about listening to this record, and you could you could make an extensive case for so much in the blues canon that songs do this, but it's amazing how some of these songs remain relevant. And I'm thinking of Sunnyland Slim, and so there's a track on the album that's called "Be Careful How You Vote."
Yeah.
I wish this had come out in 2016, but that's another story. But I'm wondering for you, as someone who's so deeply involved in blues, are you always looking for ways to make it relevant to current audiences?
I do look for that, especially in my own writing. I've done 28 albums. I've only done 2 cover albums, so I've written 26 albums. So that's about, 280 songs or 300 songs.
A
But
lot.
The other cover album I did was A Labor of Love, and it was a tribute to Mr. Luther Allison, and who was a teacher of mine, a dear friend of mine, and a mentor of mine. And I did an album of his tunes, strictly just a labor of love for a great man.
Yeah. You know, one of the things, just speaking about Sunnyland Slim, who also recorded songs called "Broke and Hungry," or "Bad Times" and in parentheses "Cost of Living." I mean these are terrific songs that speak to exactly what the artist what was experiencing. But my sense is if country music is known as three chords and the truth, for you, I'm wondering if blues music is known as a good groove and the truth.
To me, it is three chords and the truth. Sometimes one chord and the truth. Sometimes playing with some of the old guys I played with coming up, I wasn't sure what chords they were playing.
Yeah. Well, I want to talk about that.
Yeah.
I want to talk about
I do want to say, though, that songs like Broken Hungry and I can't cover those songs because I have to be able to live the song when I sing it. And I'm not broke, and I'm obviously not hungry. So, for instance, my God, do I love and respect Eric Clapton, but when he does Double Trouble by Otis Rush and he sings Some of This Generation Are Millionaires and I Can't Keep Decent Clothes to Wear, I don't feel it. When Otis Rush sang it, I felt it.
So you do a duet on the record with Sugar Ray Rayford.
Yes.
Woman Don't Lie.
Yeah.
And if I understand correctly, because I think you told me this, you literally had to give it everything you had vocally to keep up with him.
Well, my God, he's one of the greatest soul singers in the history of the world. He is a force of nature. If you have not heard Sugar Ray Rayford, he is nominated for a Grammy this year. And we have the same record producer, who's Mr. Eric Korn, who was here tonight somewhere.
Where is he?
And anyway, Eric not only produced Sugar Ray's album, he wrote all the songs on the album. And Sugar Ray is a force of nature, and when I had to stand in that studio next to him singing, I felt pretty inadequate. But I gave it everything I had,
Yeah.
But what an amazing artist Sugar Ray is.
We can spend a lot of time talking about your guitar playing and the remarkable nature of your guitar playing. I think less is said necessarily about your singing, and I'm wondering, your singers who were heroes for you, who were they?
I actually, when I'm sitting at home or I'm in my car, I love listening to singers more than guitar players.
Yeah.
I get plenty of guitar music, 2 hours a night, every night on the road. I think Aretha Franklin's the greatest vocalist of the last couple of 100 years. That's just me.
I don't think you get a lot of argument on that.
I love Otis Redding. I love Andrea Bocelli. I love Joni Mitchell. I love lots of different sort of music, but mainly I love to listen to the human voice. I think Beatle-era Paul McCartney was one of the greatest singers I ever heard. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
I really love hearing the human voice, and that's actually what I listened to. Ella Fitzgerald. She did an album called Ella Sings Gershwin with just her and a piano. Ellis Larkins on the piano. And if you put that on and you listen to Someone to Watch Over Me, and if you can get through that without having a total nervous breakdown, you're better than I am.
You made this record, Survivor Blues. You made it at Robbie Krieger's studio here, and I'm wondering for you, how much does environment, the studio you're working in, the people around, how much does environment affect the sound, affect the song, the creative process?
It does to a certain extent. I like to feel at home in a place. I am right now. Yesterday, I was back in Robbie's studio. I've started my 29th album. I'll be there again.
You got to come back when you get that finished.
Yeah, I'll be there again tomorrow, and I'm doing an album this time of all original songs.
Fantastic.
And I do have to say that some of it's not like a blues album. I also love songwriting.
Yeah.
I love songwriters. I will fall at the feet and weep at the feet of Burt Bacharach. And It's so it's going to be a bit of a different album
Yeah.
that people can expect from me.
Yeah.
But I love Robbie's studio. It has a great feel, and it's come to almost be like a home